6th Street.
Yeah. So what you're looking at there on the left is the historic district map, and then the one on the right, I think, is the sewage, maybe, and the ODOT. Yeah, it's chilly.
It is cold out there. What the heck happened? It was warm a minute ago.
You blinked.
That's yours.
With falls over, I think.
Right?
Yeah, falls over.
With a slam.
All right.
Okay. It's now 6 o'clock, and it's time to start the meeting. Okay, we're gonna call to order. Council roll call, please.
Pamela Brown, Council President.
Henry Kegel.
Stacy Wilson.
Okay. Welcome visitors. Do we have, and on Zoom?
I'm Edward Hodges with Kerr McLeod.
And
Hi, Forrest.
are you muted, Forrest? Give us a quick test. All right.
He is.
Okay.
Yeah, you're still muted, so just be aware.
He hears, okay.
All right, he's on. Yes.
Okay, and we'll stand for pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
to the republic for which it stands,
Stands.
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay, first up, we have a special visitor, Ed Hodge, with a water grant update.
All right, Ed, take it away.
Okay, folks. Well, it's really nice to be here. And what I wanted to do tonight is I've been working closely with Pam on the matter of the water system upgrade, which our firm is currently performing for you. And I know that this is a new council, and I may not have met really the majority of you folks who were there. But going back, just so you're basic with the basic scope of work that we've been doing for you folks in the last year. Kerr McLeod last year obtained a community development block grant to perform a redesign of your existing water system. As all of you are aware, you have a significant number of problems which have resulted in various occasions in the recent past where the system has lost the capacity to provide water. And so what we've been doing as part of obtaining this grant and now working on the design is coming up with a solid engineering design for basically refurbishing parts of your system so that they will, provide water and give you redundancy and really eliminate a lot of the problems you've been having with pressure and service. So when we originally looked at doing this work, we had envisioned a slightly more complex system than we're looking at now. And the original system that we were looking at installing or designing for the city, to make you guys so you're always back online, so that if not have the problems with the water system constantly going down as it has in the past. The original design that we looked at for this was to upgrade the pump station down at the big Pine Hollow Reservoir. This pump station has been failing for a long time. It has significant problems with pumps, controls, with the chlorination system, with every facet of it. And it's not really even a matter of time that it's going to fail, because it fails all the time. And so we were looking at replacing that component. And then to add redundancy, we were originally planning on having a small storage tank and a second water pumping system up in town. So the way things would have worked is that the existing pump station, which is down at the reservoir, your existing reservoir, would have pumped to this second new tank in town. And that would have supplied you from there. There would have been another pumping system that would have supplied the town and with water. And that's what you folks would have all, that's where you would have ended up getting your drinking water from. Um, as we worked on this, and in light of some of the realities of having a water system in Shaniko became clear to us, and it's not like they weren't clear before. We're very familiar with your water system, and with other communities around you that have had significant issues. We looked at and decided and talked to Pam about it, and also to the funding agency, that we'd like to change our approach. And instead of having this two component water system that you folks would have, to maintain water service, and hang on one second, in times of, problems with the system, what we decided to do was we really looked at the fact that you need as simple a system as possible. You also need a system, there is a potential for change of personnel. It's a small town. New people are going to come in and use this. So you want a water system that's absolutely as simple as possible, and something that it's a system where a person who really doesn't know that much about it, who's a new operator, can go in, have everything laid out in front of them, from a controls manner to how to operate the pumps to how the system works, where the water goes, and get going fairly rapidly with this, and with getting the system back online, or just in simply transferring from one operator doing it to another operator, taking care of things for your town. So the new idea that we're looking at is, and what we think is much better for the city, is to just focus on rebuilding the existing pumping system that's down at the big reservoir, the Pine Hollow Reservoir. And so what we would like to give you folks is, you would have, right now, the way that it works is water flows by gravity from some springs into the larger Pine Hollow Reservoir, which is actually in pretty good shape, remarkable shape given its age. From there, it flows by gravity to what's called a wet well, which is it's an existing pump station, and it's like a large pipe that goes into the ground, and the water flows into it, and there's an old pump that's in it that works. When it works, pumps the water up into town. And so this is all going to be replaced. We're going to give you new pumps. We're going to give you 2 wet wells instead of 1. And each wet well is going to have a full, pumping system with full redundancy. So you'll have 2 pumps in each, which is the standard for this type of system to get water. So you're going to have these 2 wet wells, and then you're going to have a new chlorination system, a new control system, and also electrical systems are going to be in a small building that's located above the wet wells. And in this case, essentially, folks are just simply going to be able to operate your water system from the one area, from Pine Hollow. The new system would not involve building another tank up top and having a separate controls and pumping system for that, which is just far more complex, far more expensive to operate, and it's really not what Shaniko needs. You guys need the most simple, most robust system possible to keep your water running, and you need something, and you also where you have a certain amount of flexibility with flow as well. And this system would have, you'll have flow, be able to pump water at rates which are pretty low for your normal use, but you'll also be able to pump up to close to 100 gallons a minute in town with the new system, which is, while it's not a huge amount for fire, it'll help you out in circumstances like that, where you have a need for higher flows, for whatever be the reason. So just summarizing, we would build this new system 2 redundant pump or wet well systems, as I've talked about. The controls, the motors, everything that the operators need to get up, the chlorination system, are all in a small building located above them, which can be accessed by the operator. There also will be a control system that's operated, it goes out over a cellular network, and therefore the operator will be able to operate the system from anywhere in town and not necessarily have to be down in town. Most importantly, they'll receive warnings for every component of the system, the chlorination parts, the motors of the pump, piping, pressure, the like. If something goes wrong, they will have a very simple system in their cell phone that will say, hey, you have a problem. You need to run back down and go to your new system before something really goes wrong. And then, unfortunately, you guys have just gone through that situation of something really going wrong with, having the issue with your chlorinator, not functioning properly and having to go to boil water notices and the like. So that's where we are at this point. I know that's a long message, and I apologize. I've been out of town and I don't have the plans with me where I could go over the schematic of the system better. But this is the idea that I had discussed with Pam a month ago at the last meeting, and we'd gone over it and also discussed with the funding agency who's on board with it as well. And again, it just focuses on what is the most robust system that is at the same time the simplest system that Shaniko can have, because that's what you're going to need as time goes by. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and Ed, last time we spoke, you mentioned the idea of going for the 2026 winter funding cycle once the
Yep.
planning wraps up for the actual implementation. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, that's the plan. In terms of, if the city, what I need from the city is, Pam, as we discussed, is just concurrence by council that this new approach is the right way to go. And once we get that, we've lined up the other 2 issues and these are just formalities for using these type of funds. We need a environmental study performed and then a cultural review study or historical study performed. And so we have contracts. We're just about to sign contracts with the environmental outfit and also a cultural review, a historian firm. And once we get that taken care of, then we will have the design pretty much close to done. And so we would apply for funding in winter and move forward and build your system next spring or in the summer.
Do you guys have any questions for him?
Is this a different price than the last system?
It is.
It's a lot cheaper.
It's a lot cheaper. It's about, I think going off of my memory, the double reservoir system was somewhere around, it was $700,000 or $800,000. This is 300. I would say 3 to 4 at the most. And I'm being very conservative with my numbers. Hopefully it'll come in a lot cheaper.
Mark?
Hey, Ed, Mark, Shaniko Fire Chief.
Yeah.
I appreciate your addressing the flow rate for our fire apparatus. I just want to ask you, there was some discussion when you were talking about building the new structure in town, that we would have 20 to 50 square feet of storage for our equipment, like the chlorine, and I'm asking this because the fire department is also involved with public works.
Take a look.
I didn't know if this was something that we will have some storage space. The building down there right now at the chlorinator is too small to keep tools, to keep pipes, to keep chlorine, anything we need to put, equipment in that room. So I'm just wondering if maybe you've already thought about that, but is there room to give us 20 to 50 square feet of storage space for our equipment inside the building that's going to be put down there. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you bet. That's a great question. And that's another part of this revised system design. Right now, I've got a 20 by 24 foot pole barn structure that's resistant. It'll have a enclosed room inside for the components for the water system, the controls, the chlorination system, and the like. Roll up, you'll have a man door in one end, and then access by a roll up garage door type system to get in. And so you'll have both the operation of the water system taken care of in that building, and that has to be in a heated area. So there'll be a small partition in the chlorination system, for example, has to be heated. That'll be partitioned off and have a small heater system, and then the rest will be storage. You should be able to put a vehicle in there or whatever, no problem.
That's great.
I was
Thank you,
gonna
Ed.
say 20.
Well, I was
mean,
just
you were
looking
being
for
very-
chlorine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go from 300,000 to 700,000.
Yeah, no, we keep going down here, but the thing was, what came away is, that's not having any type of storage. And, you're in all municipalities, large or small, public works is interlocked with the utilities, with water and sewer. I mean, you folks just have water here. And so it's inevitable that you're gonna want to store other things down there. You're gonna have everything to do with your water system, but then you're gonna have other, vehicles, other types of uses for public works in that building. So we're not going to build a Taj Mahal, but we're going to give you just a decent structure, that you'll have for a long time.
Any other questions from counselors?
No.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept this proposal as Ed's explained it to move forward with.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Andrea? All in favor?
Aye.
This is Forrest.
Okay.
Let me make sure that Forrest, we've got one counselor on Zoom here, so I want to make sure.
He's like, no.
Hang on a second, let me fix the.
Yeah,
mute.
no problem.
Forrest, you're muted right now, so I'm trying to find your official vote, or you can type it in the chat if you please.
himself?
Ask to unmute. Forrest, are you there? I've got him unmuted, but Forrest, if you could type in the chat what your vote is. I suppose if that doesn't come across, we could put him down as abstain if there's a technical difficulty. I'm not sure how to handle.
He could get the thumbs up.
That's what I'm prompting for, but I'm not seeing anything in the chat. Bear with us, folks. All right, thumbs up. All right. How do you want to record that? How do you want to record the vote?
How to record what?
How would you like to record the vote? Oh, he says yes for the vote.
Oh, she said yes?
Yes.
For, okay. So it's all, everybody,
No, Steve.
No, I just heard about it, so I'm not gonna make this big a decision right in 5 minutes.
This is the first that we're presenting it as well.
Yeah, this is the first I've been presented to at all.
Me too.
okay.
All right, so you would say all opposed or?
All opposed? You oppose?
No,
Oh, he agrees.
no, I don't
Oh,
agree.
yeah, okay, it's,
It's one or the other
No, you can abstain.
thing.
So 3 in favor, 1 abstains, and the vote passes.
sustained, okay.
Ab-
Okay.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
No, thank you guys. No, I think you're really doing the right thing, and we'll get her done.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'm going to sign off, but good talking with you.
Yep.
Okay. Take
Thank you.
care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Next, we have a special visitor, Brittany Dark from Frontier Chamber and Main Street Grant Information.
Dun, dun, dun.
Drum roll.
So yeah, hi, I'm Brittany Dark. I'm with the Oregon Frontier Chamber of Commerce. I'm the executive director. So, hi there. So the Oregon Frontier Chamber of Commerce, if you're not familiar with them or us, we serve Sherman, Gillum, and Wheeler counties and South Wasco County as well. One of our pillars of support is Main Street support. So we are the rural regional hub. So for Oregon Main Street, for the Oregon Frontier. So there's only 2 of those types of hubs in Oregon. One is us, the Oregon Frontier. We currently manage 10 different cities, and the other one is the Wallowa Chamber of Commerce, which manages 3 different cities as another hub. What makes those special is that usually main streets for Oregon Main Street or the national Main Street, they have to have their own board, right? So every main street would have to have their own board. They'd have to have their own bylaws. They'd have to have this, that, and the other. Well, all of our communities are so darn small, right? Like we don't have enough people to make a whole other board for Shaniko's Main Street. So that's where this Oregon Frontier regional hub came about, is that it's a hub of people. So 1 or 2 people from Shaniko, 1 or 2 people from Grass Valley, through all of them. And then together we make up the hub, the board, the designating committees to get those things. Shaniko, we would love to have Shaniko participate in this if you'd like to, but it is a commitment. So it is something where we will need somebody, whether it's on the board or on the council, or whether it's a Main Street community member or a community member who really has a passion for your Main Street. We need some kind of representation here so that they can, attend the trainings and those types of things. Another requirement would be to attend the Oregon Main Street yearly conference, to have someone from Shaniko go to that so that they can learn and get those things. The benefit, and another cost is $500 a year. We're rolling that out this year. We haven't charged for that in the past. It's all been done volunteer wise from the Oregon Frontier, but it's just not sustainable with 10 communities currently. And if we were to add Shaniko, that'd be 11. So we would need to, kind of recuperate that. However, that $500 goes towards us mapping Shaniko, figuring out what all you already have. So that's why I was kind of looking at your map to see what your current historical Main Street was. So you guys would designate what your Main Street is, and then we would work with the historical preservation. It's SHPO. Yes.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we would work with them to map it out. And what they do is they get the actual historical demographics of each of those properties. So when they started, what they're made of, what they could use some assistance in, and if it's unknown, so that we can kind of pinpoint and pick out those things that we need to help support. And then we can turn around and help businesses apply for grants. So that's like the biggest thing, right? Is to how do we get the money into these businesses to help. So if you're part of the Oregon Frontier Rural Regional Hub, you then allow your businesses, by being one of the members, by Shaniko being a member, allow your businesses on Main Street to participate and apply for those grants. Where the chamber comes in is we're the ones who actually are the ones who are applying. So we're working with the business to gather all the historical documents, to get their budget correct, to get the, quotes and stuff like that for the contractors, and then submitting that grant application to the Oregon Parks and Recreation District for consideration. Those grants used to be up to $200,000. This last year, they upped it to $400,000. So we've successfully applied for 10 different programs over the last 3 years. We've applied for more than that, but we were awarded 10 of them. This last year, one of which was Antelope RV Park, and the other one is the Condon Roundup. There's an old bar there in Condon that needed new facade, new windows, all of those things. So one of them was 200 and some thousand, one of them's 400,000. So it really just depends on what Shaniko needs. So what kind of, I'm kind of like barfing information at you at this point, but I could continue going on. Do you have any questions as far as like what the Oregon Frontier Rural Regional Hub entails? And if that's something that interests you guys in pursuing?
What would a person do that was like representing? They go and,
Yeah, so we have weekly meetings during the winter via Zoom on Thursday mornings, 8:30 or no 9:30 in the morning on Thursdays, and it's via Zoom, and we get together with all the other main streets across Oregon, and so sometimes we have speakers on topics, and sometimes it's just a get together and talk about what our challenges are. So you wouldn't have to attend all of those, but you'd try to attend as many as you could, and then the really like when we're doing the mapping, like if it was you would be my point of contact to say, hey, you know what, I'm working on mapping, this is what I have down for these are the buildings, is that right? Have they actually closed? Is it really gone? Is it remodeled, or have they added new business or whatever? So you'd be the point of contact for that, because we do have to report quarterly on each of the main streets, on if there was anything done within them, if they lost anything, if they closed, added new employees, those types of things. It sounds like a lot, but I mean,
well, it sounds like it could be
I'm
very
here.
beneficial.
very beneficial. I mean, just the mapping alone and identifying where the holes are, I think, is a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
And then working with the businesses to get the funding as well. One of the things that Wallowa County Chamber did this last time was, instead of applying for one business, they applied for a whole, because each business that they were working with didn't need like $200,000 or $400,000. They only need like 20 or 20 and 50 and blah, blah, blah. So they put together a whole conjoined application for like Wallowa that had 7 different businesses, each having like 20,000, 30,000, da, 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 da. So that could also be a thing, if one business didn't necessarily need all that funding. So
That's kind of where my mind is, getting a little bit for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because there's not really, like a lot of businesses.
right. Well,
Right.
and it's like, as long as we can have a relationship with those people and they're engaged in it, that's like the hardest part, is who is it? What do they need? Are they going to respond when we need receipts? Those types of things, because it is a reimbursable grant. So if they don't submit their stuff, they're not going to get their money.
And then as far as the asset mapping is concerned, are you looking at all the buildings on the Main Street Historic District, or starting with just businesses? How does that?
It would be
what's
the
that look like?
whole designated Main Street district as you describe it. So when you complete the application that I sent you, it's just a signature, essentially, that you guys would be approving it. But then we would just take like a Google image of your town, and you would highlight the wherever it is that you want to designate it, and we would submit that to Oregon Main Street, and then they would say, yes, this is the block radius. It's going to go halfway through this block or whatever it is, and then it would map each of the lots within there.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it really just depends on what you designate it as. Is this something that you guys feel like would be beneficial at this point to move forward with for Shaniko?
I don't know how we could afford it at this point.
We do have some financial issues.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I think it's great, but I don't know if it would be top priority right now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find
I
out.
think maybe this might, if we do it, maybe pull more people together,
Yeah. Well, and one thing that we're doing with some of, I mean, you guys are not the only ones that are struggling with finances, but it's like, one of the things that we could do is we could do a fundraising campaign for Shaniko Main Street. And so what you could do, the first 500 goes to this program, and then the remainder goes towards one of you going to the conference or helping submit a grant application for one of your buildings that you have on Main Street or whatever. So you could actually create a Main Street fund within your financials to do some fundraising that way. And that's something that we're going to be doing with some of our other cities, is to do some fundraising. So it might be something that might be easy to just kind of fold in.
Well, we could talk about who and all that kind of thing.
What would next steps be? Like, coming from right here, our conversation right now, what's it look like going forward?
So in order to move forward and go on to the calls and the conferences and all that, the contract would need to be signed. So and usually at that point we would request the $500. So I don't know if you want to sign the contract and say a promise to pay within a year, and we work together to do fundraising, or something like that. We could be because like I said, you guys are gonna be the first ones that we're rolling this out with, but we do need to make it, sustainable, cause it's definitely not sustainable the way that we're rolling it right now. So,
And is that something that the chamber would be willing to consider a timeline of a year to pay or a
Yeah.
payment plan?
definitely. So I would say that we just, whatever it is that you guys wanna offer, and we could do, like I said, a fundraising thing, if that's something that you guys wanna do, or because we could also find maybe other funding that we can apply for that helps offset it. We just don't know what's gonna come up in the next year. So, yeah, however you guys wanna roll it as far as the offer goes, I think the chamber is open to working with you guys, and because we definitely wanna keep Shaniko on the map
Oh, yeah.
and keeping it supported.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whatever that takes essentially.
Okay. Do you want to take thoughts from the public on this at all?
The what?
Would you like to take thoughts from the public on this at all, or
Yeah.
is there anybody
Yeah,
present
right.
who?
I would like to, I'm a small business owner in this town,
Oh, yay!
and this sounds great. You've worked with Antelope, we've had a lot of problems finding people to actually do work up here.
Yes.
So it's one thing to say, oh, Shaniko, you get a $200,000 grant, but then it just dies on the vine because we can't get anybody to come up here. Do you have resources? Do you have people who work with you that are willing to come to paint, to do
Yeah.
construction, to do
We're
roofing?
putting together that kind of kitty of people at this point, because we're running into that same thing like in Fossil. And they've got a program or project that's been going on, and people have been dragging their feet and blah blah blah. And so I've been reaching out and contacting different contractors to see if they'd be willing to come to those locations. And some of the contractors that I've talked to, they're like, yeah, you know what, if people are having multiple projects, we could come together and like get them all done. That's one way to do it. So like we work with multiple businesses. You've got a roof, you've got electrical, you've got this. Okay, this contractor company who can do all of those things is going to be here this whole month or whatever. And then you roll that out. So we're making those connections, plus some of the smaller handymen who've been doing a lot of the work in their homes over these years, but have never been certified or never taken that next step. We're, as the chamber, we're leaning into them and getting them certified so that they'll work in our communities. And the same thing with the youth, working with them to see if we can't get them out in these areas. Because like, how cool would it be if we were able to get like a busload of kids from wherever, right? From one of the CTE programs, and we put that, oh no, are you like,
Well, the Boy Scouts came up here and just beat on screws with a bunch of hammers
no,
and
no, no,
ruined
no,
the
no, no,
So,
I'm
you know, like-
talking the CTE program, right? Like they're learning how to do these
Okay.
things, and so it would be like a work experience
I
type
mean, we can
thing.
get the Boy Scouts to come up here and ruin stuff.
Yeah, but
I mean,
no.
not like try and help.
Yeah, but you can designate it, and you can also, anyway, that's just like, maybe it's a pipe dream, but we gotta get creative.
Mhm.
I mean, because people aren't
Pam and
coming
I
out.
learned a lot about
We're-
carpentry
Yeah,
because we have to do it all ourselves.
yeah. So that's something that we're definitely working on, and creating kind of a kitty of who we can contact and who's willing to actually do the traveling and not outbid, not bid crazy amounts.
Yeah.
So.
Are you open to taking a couple
Yeah.
other questions if we've got some?
Mm-hmm.
Forrest, do you have anything you'd like to ask? Yeah, you're still muted, but I think it's on your end. I don't know if the mic is off. But I will still muted. Also,
You can email me. I brought my cards. I thought I brought my cards. But yeah, whatever we can do to get Shaniko on board, I think, and the money will come.
Thank you.
That's my opinion.
Getting gloves on.
Yeah, I loosened my hands.
Oh, okay.
All right. When do we need to make this decision by? Could you give us a month to talk about it, or does it need to be
Nope, whenever you guys are ready.
groovy?
Yeah, the next actual grant cycle for the Oregon Revitalization Grant isn't until November
Okay.
2026.
Cool.
So we still have a while before, like, that application period, but it'd be really nice if we did the mapping before, because
Yeah.
it would make the applications stronger.
Okay.
So,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Fantastic. Let me see if I can get Forrest on speakerphone instead of Zoom. But I think he's gonna have to log out of Zoom before I can get him on the phone. Hello? All right, he's gonna have to figure that out. But if you call me back, if he calls me back, I'll put him on speaker. Okay.
Okay. Next is, everybody read the minutes?
Yes.
Any
I've got Forrest on,
changes or questions?
actually on speaker now.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, there's technical difficulties on my end. Apparently, so I'll just have to phone in.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I've read the meeting minutes.
Okay. Andrew says you read the minutes?
Yeah,
Do I hear a motion to pass the minutes?
I'd like to make a motion to pass the
Okay,
minutes
Kim,
as
second?
presented.
All in favor?
yeah, I'll second it.
Okay. Aye.
Aye. Forrest? There is a motion to approve the minutes. Are you in favor?
Yes.
Aye, and you should take yourself off speakerphone. It's hard to hear you. He's an aye.
Okay.
Thanks for rolling with the punches.
Okay, and the recorder and financial report? Debbie left, some paper that she itemized stuff for you.
Yep.
Be a little more, so you can understand a little more, hopefully. It's a little lengthy.
I like that she wrote down the donation.
It looks like she started with the September 1 through October 9, and she's got all of the items by fund, and I summed them up. The gross income before bills for general was $550. Again, this is from September to now. Fire was $655. Water was $1129. These numbers aren't on here. I just added them up. Sanitation was $1450. School was $0. Tourism is $532 with a total of that gross income at my number's a little bit different than hers, but just over $4,000. And then she has the outgoing bills. I'm on page 4. Total check amounts. So she outlined what was paid. There were a couple things that I noticed. I saw on the deposit element there was on December 4, there was a check, the Q1 transient lodging tax from the hotel and RV park. I do want to make a note that the Q2 is also overdue. That was due on, I think, July 31, so we'll need to follow up with the hotel and also make sure they're submitting their reports so we see that the number that they're paying lines up with the amount that they should be taking out. So we'll follow up on that. Everything else to me looked pretty straightforward. I saw that there was a high number in the fire hall, the propane, so we're gonna turn that off for the season and I'll let Mark talk to that when we get to the fire report. But that number won't be carrying over going forward. And so you see the September ending balance is about $8,900. I'm rounding down. Balance of October 10 is about 10 grand minus October's bills would leave us with 5,970 in the main checking account. And so looking over all of these things, I would make the motion to approve and pay the bills as suggested by Deb in the financial report.
I'll second.
I hear all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Forrest?
Forrest?
And
He's an aye. So the motion passes. unanimously to approve and pay the bills.
Okay. Next up, we have the water report, yearly report due by monthly gallon total needed.
Yep. The water report. The reservoir is sitting at about 8'2". This is looking pretty good comparing to previous years at the same time. 6'8" was a comparison. A couple years ago, it was 6'3". Again, I think this big leak that we fixed a couple of months ago behind the bathroom really made a big impact as far as water usage is concerned. And chlorine levels continue to be at the appropriate amount. And that's all I've got for the water report. I will look into the yearly in December, and when we get to December, I'll let you know how it's
Okay.
looking.
Okay, fire report and projects, Mark?
Oh, I've got one more thing. I made a little asterisk for the water in regards to the Business Oregon grant that Ed Hodges was talking about. The original planning amount was for $126,000. Once we started digging in and taking a look, the McEd administrative fee is a little bit higher than the original ask was.
Yeah, he said it's 700 or 800,000.
Oh, he's talking about for the actual implementation.
Oh, okay.
So we're in just like the planning phase. So don't worry about what number he said. For right now, we got this money to actually pay Ed to do some research and pay his team to put together the schematics
Started.
and present things to us and whatnot. So that big amount was 126,000, which some goes to Ed Hodges, some goes to Mid Columbia Economic Development District. Michelle's doing a lot of project management, a lot of budget, a lot of the submitting of forms.
Okay.
And so we put in a request to raise it from 126 to 133,000, and we were accepted by Business Oregon to receive that extra money. So we just have to vote on whether we accept the extra funds in order to carry out the planning process.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Second, you hear a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Right.
Aye. That was an aye from Forrest as well.
Okay.
If I second it, I don't have to IT do that.
It's good protocol to say aye.
Oh,
Aye, aye, Captain.
And then even afterward, to clarify, you can even say all opposed, just to make sure that nobody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hospital bed.
And
He heard himself
all right,
today.
so the motion to approve the new budget at 133 has passed.
Okay.
And now I'm done with the water. That was the last thing I wanted to add.
And the fire report and projects, Mr. Haskell?
Yeah, so we're at the end of fire season, which is great.
Oh, good.
I know, right? So
Thank
we
goodness.
managed to spend all the fire grant money on our volunteers. We've got a beautifully robust volunteer fire department of eight or nine people, depending on how you count, which is great because that's like 30% of the population of our town,
That's
right? There's no municipality that has that kind of response. And so I just want to special thank you to Stacy, Andrea, and Pam, who did a fabulous job, helping and cleaning and getting all the stuff organized there over the summer, and our training went great. I want to throw out, I'd like to comment that Forrest, Councilmember Marcourt found 2 grants that we've applied for. One was with the firehouse, it's a division of Firehouse Subs for wildland gear and boots and extra equipment. We also applied for a grant with the Gary Sinise Foundation to get a new brush rig. These are pipe dreams, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take,
That's
right?
true.
So the fire department's pretty good. I wanted to address what Pam said about the propane. The Pacer, what I found out a couple of weeks ago that I didn't know is that those propane cans, the propane tank, the one that's right here and the one that's at the fire hall, are hooked up with a cellular network, and it notifies Pacer when we get to 30%. So they automatically dispatch out to fill that up.
Yeah.
Now, the Pacer guy showed up, he came because the one here in City Hall was at 30%. And he asked me if I wanted to have the one at the fire hall filled. It was at 50%. I called Councilmember Brown, she said, yes, have them both filled. So I'm not sure, and we will keep the heater down. I'm a little bit worried about freezing gas. If it gets to 19
Yeah.
degrees, we might have a problem. So we'll talk about that, but I'm not sure that it's what we just paid for propane is an accurate reflection of how much the fire hall uses. We don't
Right,
know
okay.
really. I mean, we're all new
Right.
on this kind of stuff. As far as the trash goes, everything's been going great. Sorry we didn't get yours, right? But
Did they get
now
yours?
that we know where your can
nice.
is, we'll figure that out. We can talk outside of the Zoom meeting about and so Andrea and Joe have been really great about stepping up.
Thank you.
Forrest and I did trash on Friday, and about an hour later, Andrea and Joe pulled up. So we had double crew, which was great.
I see that.
I know, I'm like, nothing in this.
And so the dumpster is, pretty good. I guess I'll touch just briefly on the compliance thing, because that's kind of the trash. I know it's on the agenda.
Let me
You want
speak to that next, please.
Okay. And then Public Works. I think you're right that we did a lot to mitigate that leak. We have another leak. I believe we have another leak. And I think it's somewhere between the one we fixed and the hydrostatic pressure tank. We're kind of hoping that, I'm kind of hoping that maybe that will get fixed in the spring or in the fall, when they take this hydrostatic pressure tank offline. Then we won't have to worry about that leak anymore. That'll be a dead pipe.
Okay. That would be 2027, just. to
Oh,
put
that's
that.
not next year. Yeah, okay, so we might we take the backhoe and dig up the backyard, but it's nice to know that we have at least 2 feet, which is 20,000 gallons. We were losing 20,000 gallons a month probably out that. So, and I guess that's about it. We're, once again, I want to thank all the volunteers and all, the fire department's been doing the public works, the trash, and the fire. And
I was gonna say, wait a minute. You're
yeah,
doing
we're
everything.
doing, there's only 25 people in town.
Yeah.
So, so we're doing a lot of stuff.
Mark, can I add a couple things
Sure.
that you may not have seen? The fire donation box got $655 donated. Some of that was from the fire box, and one was from an anonymous $500 donation. So that's awesome to see. And then the propane vendor is listed on here as DCC Propane. We can touch base on that later to see.
I don't know, they might be a Pacer,
Probably.
distributor or something. It might be a Pacer, because the guy pulled up in the Pacer truck.
Cool.
So,
All right, thank you.
I need to get back over to the station. You guys need me for anything else?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Thank you. It's nice meeting you.
Good meeting you.
Okay, now we have, you mentioned the transfer station compliance is completed.
I'd love to tell you more about that because I'm so proud of it.
Oh, what?
Go ahead. Were you gonna talk about that? I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll skip that one. Okay, Old City Hall, the tourist shop vacated.
Wait, she,
It's fine.
sorry, she wanted to
Keep on.
talk with you, I mean,
For the transfer
Okay,
station
sorry.
compliance, we were working with the DEQ guy for our region, Justin. Since May, we've been out of compliance and trying to figure out how to get these albatross of a barrels of paint out of hauled away and whatnot. And so Andrea helped out. She made a couple phone calls, so we were able to connect with Deschutes Waste Management. We tried to get them down there. It wasn't gonna work, and Greg from Deschutes drove up for free, coordinated with Justin from DEQ, and got the barrels, confirmed that they were paint without having to pay for any laboratory testing or transportation,
Oh, nice.
and took them away
wow,
and
that's huge.
confirmed with Justin from DEQ, who's very, very, very on his stuff, that this was all taken care of and we are in
Oh,
compliance.
way to go.
That was looking like it might have been a big bill, man.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, Sharon hauled away 40 cans, I think, but you couldn't take the last 4 because they were full.
Well, I just wanna say, me and my brother, we moved the trailer and that some of the metal gone, so it's gone from there too, so we helped out.
That's, yeah, you helped out a
fun.
lot. You
That
kind
was
of
fun.
kicked off.
The whole day.
And if you need any help with the barrels that you have, let me know and I'm sure we can ask for help.
Okay, now the old city hall, the tourist shop, which is next door to this building, is officially vacated and paid all expenses by October 1st as per business September 1st, 2025. Okay. Next is the Housing Assistant Grant Opportunity for 30 grand presented by Jamie Crawford on July 8th, 2025. Is awarded to the City of Shaniko to update comprehensive plan and zoning ordinance laws in 2026. Pam, would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, so in applying for the DLCD grant, we were awarded, it's not necessarily going to be the 30 grand. The next steps will be working with Jamie. She's going to come out to maybe the November or December meeting to chat with us about line items and investigating what the cost will be. And then she'll be coordinating with Angie Brewer at DLCD to get that number finalized. The project start can be as soon as January 2026. It doesn't have to be, but it has to be done by May 2027.
Oh, okay.
So good, yeah, good news. We're getting the support that we need.
Cool.
Can I ask a question about the tourist shop? What's
Yeah, the
That
old
was-
city hall.
that was the old city hall?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
And so why does it say tourist shop? Did it used to be or is it gonna be or?
Yeah, the people that occupied it had a tourism.
Is that what you guys are hoping
Theme.
to?
That's the same
Rent
question
it
I
out
was
again.
gonna ask. What's
Yeah,
going on
does
over
the
there?
city?
I think
city
that
own
the,
it,
I
or-
think I think
Okay.
that tourism shop is moving to a different location, and so it's basically an open
Spot
for
now.
rent.
Yeah,
And so-
the structure of it is a two-story building, and so in the very front you've got a little. It could be a coffee shop or tourist shop. Up the upstairs you've got where the old city hall is, and then around the back is where the jail is. So it looks like we can talk about
We need to-
advertising and
We need to do that, and get somebody else in there.
get it filled in.
Okay, now we have public comment, please. Anyone?
I've got Dave Lyle. Do you have something you'd like to share, Dave?
Yes. Am I on mute?
You are good to go, son.
All right. Well, first, I would like to ask for an application to rent the small tourist shop that is now vacant. Because I had a business upstairs, people know where to look for me. So I would like to put in a little coffee shop and a couple examples of my caskets. So, and I'd be happy to pay $120 a month plus the water hookup fee so I can run the coffee. So that's one thing. The second thing is you mentioned using the backhoe. Has the backhoe been authorized where neighbors can rent it yet?
Have we figured that out?
No, not yet.
There's something written.
It
in
was
this.
figured out, but
Not figured that out yet.
Other people that, because the fire department wanted to take it over, so we need to figure out actually who can,
Well, who pays for the repairs?
I was just saying, also your insurance company.
And knowing that the backhoe was bought by Booker for everyone in town. That's really what the backhoe, and there used to be a dump truck. And so the citizens chipped in on that. It wasn't just Shaniko. So I just, it's expensive to have one brought up for 4-hour job and then pay $250 to have it taken back.
Yeah.
Just trying to be economical on what we own and what we have and how we can make money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it needs to be available to the public. We'll get that
Yeah.
figured out. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And chatting with my insurance agent, each person that carries car insurance can get a binder for the backhoe. So it's a simple way of doing the insurance.
Cool. Good to know.
Anyway, the last thing is that my house is deteriorating, and because of that, it's going to have to be remodeled with a new foundation. So anybody that wants some of the old wood, there's going to be a lot of old wood, but it's just totally got to come down, and probably with a chainsaw. So time to change.
Thank you, Dave.
okay, thank you.
We've got Sandy Serengino also on Zoom. Sandy, do you have anything you'd like to share?
Yes, I was wondering why there's such an issue keeping the bathrooms up and working. Friday when I got there was no toilet paper and the handicap bathroom was running. We contacted you guys and by Sunday, it still hadn't been fixed. A customer actually came in and said they turned the water off. When Amy and I took care of it, there was never an issue. They have to be done every day. You can't wait 1 week. And Sandy's been giving people toilet paper to use in the bathrooms. I mean, Mark says he's the maintenance guy. Fire department's supposed to take care of it. So we're paying our $10 fee. So where is everybody? That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anybody?
What did it take?
Stacy, you have something to say?
No.
Okay.